And I think Greene opened for Matt Gaetz. Does anybody know the order in this nonsense? Guys. Yeah! Hi, Betty. Hi, Betty. Hi, Betty. Hi, Betty. Sorry.
God bless you guys.
And you know what God I mean, of course. The succubus that I serve, that I pretend is the Lord Jesus Christ, but is really just a demon in a mask that I have. You should see my little statues. They're like transformers. If you touch any crucifix in my house, it goes gong gong giggert and turns into like a horned beast.
Alright, I just gotta check something. I just want to make sure I'm in the right place.
Oh, here it comes. Start off with a... If you can't start off with a joke because you're a humorless asshole, we highly recommend you start off with a God bless America and see what people respond.
Tell me, who is your president?
Joe Biden.
That's my president too. Okay, just want to make sure I was with friends and family, not with Antifa or BLM or
Boo. This is... You tell him. Ew. This is like local wrestling announcer gives his girlfriend a chance to talk. Boo!
Democrat socialist.
Or Democrat socialists. You mean Democratic socialists? Or social democrats? I always get them mixed up. And so do they.
Did anybody here vote for Joe Biden?
Yeah, yell no. You're not going to hear the 3 people that did. Somebody's filming it. Yeah, everybody in that room that works there.
Do you guys really think he won?
Do you really think... Is it a tick now?
I didn't see this kind of support for a man that stayed in a basement for an entire year campaigning, did you?
We were all in our houses. And his basement apparently had French doors that went out onto the lawn and you could see them behind him.
Well, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Listen, I love you.
Does anybody love pineapple the way we Jonestown people love pineapple? Am I right? What's going on? Oh, God, it's like local auditions for America's Got Talent.
Let me tell you all what we're doing. And it's
Please, because so far I'm completely confused.
really important.
Oh, I bet.
Matt Gaetz and I got together and I said, we gotta do something. We live
And he was like, "You're a little old for me." Sorry. Do you have a cheerleading outfit? Do you know Tantra? Shut up. I don't know.
the greatest country in the world, the United States of America.
Agreed, cosign, and... Yeah, that's right. That's right. You heard it. You heard a liberal, progressive type like me say America's greatest country in the world. Suck on that for a while,
We're
don't
a
you?
nation of people that aren't going to lay down to socialism, are we?
Well, that's not how it's done, actually. Socialism, everybody works, I think.
No.
No.
That's right. Screw socialism.
Yeah, you said it. Man.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think, right? Where's our screw socialism shirts? What? Did you ever think we'd all be this sad in this kind of a room?
So, here's what we're doing.
All right.
We are getting all of you together. This is very, very important.
We are? Aren't you already in the room? What's happening? Are people still milling about near the buffet?
Because it's time to bring hope back to the people of this country.
Oh my God, they're going to run Hope Hicks in 2024.
Love America.
And can't wait to shoot it.
Love our freedoms. That love our Second Amendment rights.
Thanks for subscribing, smiling poodle lady. By the way, we cleared 18,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're getting there, people. Share the show. Like and subscribe, Venmo, all that stuff. I missed days last week, so bless you.
That love the past 4 years where we had a president that showed us what America First policies looked like.
Yeah, Reagan who?
Put our American businesses first, the American people first. That wasn't wrapped up. President Trump was not wrapped up in identity politics, was he?
Well, no. I mean, he's a man without a skin color. I mean, he's such a minority. There's unless they make black, brown, and orange. Honestly, he's just wandering around the pigment wasteland.
No, but there was one thing he used to say, and I used to love it. He still says it.
Turn around and pick up that piece of paper.
Is in America we all bleed red, white, and blue.
Please, no one cut yourself to find out if that is indeed the fact. And if you do, it means you have cut an artery in an oxygen-free room, and you obviously have pus in your bloodstream.
God bless America for that.
God bless America for that? God damn. Like, remember when I told you guys about good messages carried by bad messengers? If you want to make patriotism look bad, you could not do a better job.
So we're starting these America First rallies, and we're going to take them across the country.
Yeah, and we're going to sell some shirts and some books, and we're going to sign some autographs, and it's going to be $10 a head, and you can donate to our campaigns that way, and basically we're going to write them off as campaign stops.
Because I'll tell you something, I'm a first-time congresswoman. I've never held office before.
And you can't tell. Do you now? Don't people who hold office usually have committee seats? Okay.
I'm a regular person, just like every single one of you.
Yeah, everybody there. Raise your hand if you've had sex with a sex guru at your gym while your husband watched. Sorry.
And there's one thing I believe with all my heart
That Matt Gaetz is innocent.
is the people of this country are what matters. And it's the people of this country that make this country work. It's the small business owners, the people that go to work every single day and work long hours and make ends meet. It's our truck drivers.
To make ends meet. Work long hours to make ends meet. Then these are not mutually exclusive activity. Like, this is the point in the speech where you go in her head. Clearly, the thought, winging this was a mistake. Pops in.
It's the people that work in our small.
We need a Halvolio emote. Oh, I think we can do that. I bet you I can. They sent me they are sending me the sticker image with it cut out, but I could probably cut it out of the picture that they gave me and make one. I'll see what I can do.
Small businesses are restaurants, construction companies, all kinds of small
Yeah, we the people, not they the people, not them the people.
companies across this country that love it so much, that don't ask for a handout. You work hard every single day, you pay your taxes, you do everything right, but
Yeah, you're not talking to that room anymore. You're in front of a bunch of sovereign citizens who don't even think they have you can arrest them.
Now you're being controlled in a government that is trying to take away all your freedoms.
Using a giant Jewish space laser.
We're not going to let that happen.
Yeah, her audio is low on their end, and let me see if I can bring it up a little bit. No, we're
And I know for a fact when we pull everyone together, because it's the people in America that can make it change.
Jesus Christ, what kind of word salad bullshit is this? If we pull everyone together, it's the people in America that can make it change. Holy shit. What are you doing? Wait 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can boost the audio on this ridiculousness. What the hell? I'll have to bring my audio down and bring her audio up, and I mean, this is not the Hill. This is not a quality endeavor you're running here. Okay, just saying. Let's see. I'll bring my that's gonna have to turn the gain up on this thing. Annoying. And annoying. We'll try and make it annoying, but we'll try a little harder, and we'll make it annoying too. Hoodoo. There we go. Turn this up a little, and let me see if hers is louder now. Hold on.
Right? I believe in people over politicians.
Then why are you a politician? Is the audio now all... It seems to have a lot of... Can you hear the fan on there? Is it annoying? Is it okay? I just had to turn it up, like, much better? Okay, good. All right, that'll work for now. Because I don't doubt that Matt Gaetz' speech is equally as pathetic sonically. Yeah.
Like many of you, I've been a business owner for the past 2 decades, and I never really was interested in politics a whole lot. I sure as heck never wanted to be a member of Congress. This is a really dirty, rotten job, I can tell you that much.
Well, it is now.
But there was a certain person that ran for president in 2016.
I don't want to say who.
And I liked what he had to say. I understood what he had to say. And it
Then why didn't you sign up to be his translator when you went to Russia?
made sense to me to have someone like that running our country. He was a businessman.
Citation needed. He makes his living off of his father's brand.
And then I'll tell you what happened. We elected him. We got the Republican-controlled House, the Republican-controlled Senate, Donald J. Trump in the White House.
And then...
And I thought, wow, things are about to happen. We're going to build the wall. We're going to defund Planned Parenthood. We're going to defund sanctuary cities.
These are her status points. What about, by the way, we're also going to get rid of the pedophile cabal of baby eaters. Where was that, like? How is something like that 5th on your checklist?
We're going to repeal Obamacare.
Yeah, we don't need Obamacare. We got what's it called? Kentucky Connect here.
And I thought, wow, this is fantastic. But guess what? That didn't happen. It didn't happen in the first 2 years under President Trump with
Even with everybody. Weird.
Republicans running the show. Right, did y'all say rhinos? Okay, well, let me explain to you all what they don't understand in Washington, D.C.
Okay, let's hear it. This is, guys, I know you've been wondering. And this is someone who works in Washington, D.C. and chose a job where she works in Washington, D.C., representing people from her district in Washington, D.C., because Americans send their representatives to one place so that they can hash out how to represent each other. And so she's going to explain it to us, because obviously Washington, D.C. is somewhere, you know, in Europe under the UN or something.
What the political consultants
Thank you, V. Gabriel.
and and those that run everything in Washington and the staff that never ever leaves, they just move around, they don't understand what you all just said. Rhinos, Republican
They don't understand that? Because that phrase has been around for a long time.
in name only. They don't understand that how regular
Somebody just yelled dinos.
people, which is all the voters, by the way,
I was wondering what's Jesse the Body Ventura's take on this lady. I don't know, but I've got evidence that I found in the elevator shaft in the Denver airport that she may or may not be a man.
75 million people are tired of Republicans saying these things but not delivering, right?
You mean like getting Mexico to pay for the wall? Shit. And or that the COVID's going to go away with the heat in April and we'll all be able to have Easter.
Wait, say it again. Good. We want everybody to know that.
Yeah, good. Everybody, that's a list. Everyone who yelled yes.
So, here's the deal.
You keep Joe Biden's phrases out of your mouth, lady.
That's when I started paying attention, when Nancy Pelosi took the gavel.
No woman in charges. San Francisco lady like gay people, ag.
And so I said, you know what? We make it
What?
work every single day in the real world. We're able to pay our bills. We're not in debt.
Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. You make mortgage payments. You make car payments. Her campaign had debt. What are you talking about? In the real world, we don't have debt. We all actually understand that a certain level of rolling debt is how we actually have the quality of life that we have. What are you talking about?
We're able to achieve things, and I think it's time for real people.
We're able to achieve things. And by we, I mean y'all. And by y'all, I mean everybody in this room who's saying that their life has been completely destroyed by Democrats.
People to go to Washington.
On the 6th and kill cops, you mean?
And so that's why I'm a member of Congress. And they don't like me very much.
Yeah, I can't imagine why.
Thank you. And I love you because you are the people I understand. You see, I got to Washington, and I wasn't there very long. It was literally the second day when we had to vote on the rules in Congress. And let me tell you what they decided to do. Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats decided that they were going to erase gender in the rules for the 117th Congress.
By the way, that the erasing gender means either recognizing or using neutral terms. That's how you erase. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, imagine that. You can't say he, she, him, her.
Everybody can say he, she, him, her. My distinguished colleague, he, they. Yeah, it's pretty easy, actually.
Mother, father, daughter, son, brother, sister. I'm sitting there going, wait, have these people lost their minds? Oh, let me tell you, I found out a lot more how crazy they are. And they call me crazy.
Well, yeah. Yeah, because you're a lunatic.
Which is really funny. So we voted on that, and well, I voted against it, and so did a lot of other people, but the Democrats said, yeah, we don't believe in gender, we aren't going to say these pronouns and so forth. And then the days went on. Well, let me tell you, the bills...
And the world didn't collapse, and people were included, and we spoke in terms of where we're not going to make man-related legislation that it applies to everyone. Just not the people, for example, is a great enough descriptor.
That they introduce are atrocious. And I want to inform you all about something that I was shocked by.
Well, we'll see.
You wouldn't believe how many bills, as a matter of fact, most of them get passed by people saying their vote. We have 435 members of Congress.
Yeah.
But yet, here's what they do. With a handful of members, maybe 10 or less Democrats and 10 or less Republicans, they call the bill to the floor and we vote on it. And the Democrats, because they're voting on all of their bills, go, yay. And then all of us Republicans are like, nay. But
All? It's interesting because your Republican voters are for 60% of most of these.
sadly, some Republicans say yay, which I still haven't figured out.
That's because 60% of Republicans are actually for a lot of these bills.
And then it passed.
They represent their constituents. So, and just because you got elected by Republicans or Democrats doesn't mean you only say yes to the stuff that your party wants.
Well, I want to tell you, the first time I saw a bill pass like that, I think it was audible when my chin hit the floor. You see, I believe that all members of Congress should actually vote. What do you guys think?
Well, that's what the whips are. They already know when these bills come to the floor how many are voting. They've talked to their people. It's registered with the person. Oh, Jesus Christ. Does she not know this? Did she not know that's how they gather the votes? Because it would be completely impractical for the votes to only happen when everyone is present. And if you're not present, they wouldn't be there. You can actually whip the votes, and then you can come in and vote at your leisure. And then they say at the end of the voting, aye or nay. Jesus.
Isn't that a novel idea? Well, you
Do they need ID, though? That's the question.
see, the Democrats in charge were so sweet to me, and then there were I think, 11 Republicans, something like that, 10 or 11. I have that list. I'm hanging on to it. That were so nice to give me some free time, and they decided
Took away your committee.
to kick me off committees over a few things that they didn't like on Facebook some years back.
Some years back. Woman, you just said the same stuff. You just said the president wasn't really elected.
And so it was pretty interesting. They said they didn't want me on committees, and I was like, oh, thank God, because the Democrats are running the committees, and they don't listen to Republicans anyways.
Yeah, they do. But you have to actually have a cohesive argument.
And I'm the kind of person, I'm a business owner. I've accomplished a lot. I've been
Have you?
a competitive athlete.
You used PPP loans to pay off all your debts for your company. You got, what, $500,000 in them? And yet said you would have voted against them? I mean, is that all you need to be elected as a Republican these days?
And I like to compete, and I hate to lose. If you want to give me
Get used to disappointment.
some time on my hands, then you better believe I'm going to figure out smart ways to use it.
Yeah, and this is what she's done. She's got time on her hands, so she's touring the country with a guy who is currently under investigation and knows it and has lawyers working on his behalf to address the charges for child sex trafficking. She's not in her district helping paint storefronts. She's not in her district, helping to, fix stuff and go, I thought I'd save the taxpayers a couple dollars by driving over here and changing that light bulb myself. She's not doing that stuff. She's touring the country with Matt Gaetz. Criminy. Thank you.
So I got with some people, some smart people, and I learned a little bit about floor procedure and floor
placenta. What?
action and how all this stuff works there in the chamber. And then I found out that I can make things happen, and I don't even have to be on committees.
What'd you make happen? She's got a impeach Joe Biden bill, and what was the other one? She'll tell me.
And I found out I can force every member of Congress to vote on bills that are brought to the floor. Because you want to know, right? And I don't think this is a Republican.
They register their vote. You can check on every bill They always have. You just mean that they have to be there at the time for that one. Instead of sending, if they're in a meeting with constituents or they're having committee meetings or any of those kind of things, and they hold a vote, they can send their staff in to vote for them, and it registered which way they did. If their staff votes the other way, they violate procedure. I mean, there's...
Like an issue or a Democrat issue. This is an American people issue. Everyone deserves to know how their member of Congress votes.
Let's pick something from a while back. Something, just keeps going. Let's see, 1280. These are all the things, by the way, that have been voted on. And she has not called everyone to the floor for all these votes. She's going to miss some herself. You watch. Let's see. Motion to table, motion to propose on a day of certain. HRS 8 adopting the rules of House of Representatives. 214 to 204. This was the vote. Now, if everybody just says yabbity yabbity, how do we know this? Look at this. And it's not just by yays and nays and it's just a red bar. You can see everybody's vote. Here they are. Is Marge under the impression, as dumb as she is, that we've never had access to this information until she was elected to Congress? Let's see. Congress. Which one? Let's see. Go home. GovTrack US. Let's see. All bills. Here's a breakdown of 5 currently before Congress. There were 12 enacted bills and joint resolutions passed already. Find a bill. Let's see. How about, I don't know, let's see. Let's find Affordable Care Act. There you go. So, let's see. Are there newer ones? Is this just this Congress? Or we go back further? There's a bunch of bills with the ACA in them. Premium Relief Act. All these bills. Like, these are all kind of like, there you go. These are, whether or not they've been voted on or put into place, whether they have co-sponsors, where they are. Let's see. These are all not voted on yet. These are sitting. Gee, I wonder if you could just have 8 people walk in and go yay and nay, then who cares? I don't know why there are any. Let's see if they have Marjorie Taylor Greene's bills in here. Let's see. Okay, let me go, like, oh, I see. Here we go. The 111th, or sorry. I think it's, yeah, let's see, it's the 110th? Yeah. Let's see. Oh, it's last major action, recent first. Reauthorization Act, sponsored, introduced, enacted, signed by the President. Co-sponsors, trafficking victims protect. Here's the this is just a victims trafficking bill. Let's see. Introduced. There it is. Howard Berman introduced it. Details. Okay, this is the co-sponsor. It's got 3 and 3. Anyways, the voted on ones. There you go. I don't know where they have their list in here, because once it's the older one, they don't have it directly there. Introduced, status, enacted, public source, incorporated legislation, history, this time passed the Senate. Okay, here you go. Passes. Passes. There's the updated text of it. I think they just shelved the other vote in there, but you get my point. Bills and votes. Roll call votes. There you go. There you go. There you go. There's a graph. Okay, you get the point. Okay, there we go. Back to this nonsense.
So I started calling, Madam Speaker, I'd like the yays and nays. Well,
and every single time, the numbers were exactly what they said they were.
Let me tell you, you'd have thought that a bomb went off in there, and that would be a really bad thing. Because everyone was very upset with me about that. Oh, the audacity of that Marjorie Taylor Greene calling for recorded votes. How dare she put us on record?
They are on record.
Yeah. Let me tell you all the things that were very offensive. Number one, guess what they had to do? When you call for a recorded vote, that means everybody's got to stop what they're doing and they have to walk down to the chamber with the voting card, put it in there, and you vote. Well, does that sound so difficult to do? No. Oh, you'd have thought that it was the hardest thing ever. We were making these people work. Oh, the complaining, the complaining.
By the way, most of the complaining came from the Republicans.
Well, the Democrats were very upset.
Thank you, Thomas.
It was just messing up the schedule because they're trying to ram through all the socialist bills they possibly can. You know, like...
Oh, yeah? Which ones?
The Equality Act that puts biological men in our bathrooms and in our girls' sports. How do you guys feel about that?
You mean trans men? By the way, this is heterophobia. I'm just saying it. They don't believe this isn't about trans people. They think straight guys are going to, because there's gray area in the law, throw on a dress and sneak into the ladies' room. And that's because of the guys she hangs out with that she believes that. This has definitely crossed Matt Gaetz' mind.
All right, I'll come back to that. I have a good story for y'all. Okay.
Great. I can't wait.
They had a bunch of other bills, you know, like allowing felons to vote from prison. Do you think that's a good idea? Murder people and then you get to vote? I don't think so.
Let's see. Was it a bill to guarantee the returning of voting rights back to, let's see. Bill to allow felons to vote from prison. Felon voting rights, National Conference on State Legislature restoring voting rights in Nevada. Nevada Secretary of the Fight for People to Vote. Fight for people in prison to vote reaches Congress. Theappeal.org. This is, let's see. The fight for people in prison to vote reaches Congress. An amendment to end felony disenfranchisement failed in the House of Representatives, but the measure shows how far the fight has come in a short number of years. Earlier today, a monumental vote occurred quietly in the U.S. House of Representatives. At the moment, that's because not everybody was called in to vote like Marjorie Taylor Greene wanted them to. At the moment, the House is considering H.R. 1, for the People Act, a package of voting rights proposals, including a massive expansion of automatic voter registration, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Restoration of voting rights for people once they exit prison. If enacted, the bill will be the largest expansion of voting rights in America since the Voting Rights Act. Okay. In response, Representative Cori Bush of Missouri and Mondaire Jones of New York, who were both elected to the House last year, proposed an amendment to H.R. 1 that would allow those convicted of felonies to vote from within prison. Only Maine, Vermont, Washington, D.C. enable anyone with felony conviction to vote from prison. In other states debating whether to join them, some other nations, including Canada and Israel, have national mandates that extend voting rights to incarcerated people. The amendment failed today, 97 to 328. Not a single Republican voted for the measure, and it also failed among Democrats. However, activists, lawmakers fighting to expand voting rights say they're hopeful the vote was the beginning rather than the end of a national debate for voting rights on prisoners. I'm going to tell you, by the way, and this is the people who are trying to make it happen, I'm here to tell you that's never going to happen. It's never going to pass. That's never going to get added. There's absolutely no way that gets added. It's not going to happen. Restoring felons' rights once they leave, absolutely. And that it should be automatic. And they should have somebody even, heck, visit them. Go, hey, want to be remember how you're supposed to be a functioning member of society? This is a good place to start. You got to show up for parole. You can show up to vote. And by the way, a lot of these folks, the ones that don't need to be told this are all the white-collar criminals who vote every time anyways, and most, if not all, voted for Trump. Just saying. Let's see. Indeed, the 97 supporters of the amendment included Democrats across the party's ideological spectrum. Unsurprisingly, members of the party's left flank, including New York Representative Jamal Bowman and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, signed on, but so did some of the party's establishments: Jerry Nadler of New York, Richard Neal of Massachusetts, and Debbie Wasserman Schultz of Florida. This, Bush said, is a national conversation right now. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. I'm not weighing in on whether even the shoulds about it. It won't. It will always be dead in the water. It will hit that was its glass ceiling. It's never going to get higher, no matter how many people get elected. Like, if there was a progressive revolution in the House, it's not passing. And I'm not sure why they want the Aryan nation to vote so badly, but whatever. It's silly. But it didn't pass. This is my point. This is her going, oh my God, they wanted to do this? Yeah, people bring bills that are not going to pass to the floor all the time. You did.
Cori Bush likes that one, by the way. That was her bill. So here's what we did. So I started calling.
What'd you do?
For these recorded votes, and Democrats were, really upset because it was messing up the schedule and was taking a lot of time, and everybody had to stop what they're doing. They had to stop their lunches and stop their fundraising calls and get up from their nap and all kinds of things and come down and vote. Well, it wasn't just the Democrats that were upset with me. It was the Republicans also.
Oh my God. Please attack them now.
Yeah.
This so far, I don't even know what she's going to say, and this is my favorite part of the speech.
Well, guess what? As a matter of fact, I got chewed out quite a few times, and it wasn't by Democrats because they don't talk to me.
Yeah, why would they?
It was by Republicans. Yeah. Do you want to know what they said?
Yes, please, tell me what they said.
Marjorie, you don't want to do this, Marjorie.
Really? Is that Marjorie? You don't want to do this, Marjorie. This is how they talk to you?
I said, why? Why not? Well, you're going to put people on record. You just need to let these things pass quietly, and you can vote your conscience, Marjorie. You can say yay or nay. I was like, that's not what I'm here for. I know how to do a job, and I like to work hard. But just like you, just like all of you, just like the American people, will accept the ones that love getting paid their bailout checks and staying home and won't go to work. That's another issue. So,
yeah, how many? What's the racial demographic of that crowd? Just for the record.
I got chewed out for making people vote, and it was.
Oh, and thanks. Whoops, 1 second. Missed this one. Thanks, Robin. Yay. Yeah, I do these long form because the complaint with these folks is always that people cut stuff out of context. Not me.
Republicans that didn't like it, well, we can just go with the RINOs. Y'all want names, don't
Yeah, who are they? Yeah, make a list. Y'all want names. She's not going to tell you names.
Don't you? See, this is what they don't understand. And it's on both sides of the aisle. They've been there so long that they only know how to function together. And they forget who they work for. They work for you.
You forget who they work for. You do. You talk about Washington like it's in Europe.
Well, let me tell you, once we started putting them on record and calling for recorded votes, and I started getting help from my friends in the House Freedom Caucus, by the way, and I started getting help
The Anglo-Saxon caucus wasn't around? Are they waiting on a ridge somewhere in their kilts?
from people like Matt Gaetz, and we started calling for recorded votes. Well, that changed things, and here's how it changed. For instance, there was one week, there were 28 bills that were set to go out there, and I said, put it on Twitter, because evidently Twitter is where you tell everybody everything. Unless you get kicked off, right? I said, I'll be calling for the yays and nays. And then all of a sudden, magically, boy, that list got dropped down. There was only 5 bills that came through that week. And I'll tell you one more thing that really, really sets them off. It's when I ask for a motion to adjourn. Well, that really upset people. A motion to adjourn is very important. It's when you're saying Congress needs to go home. Congress needs to stop. I want to call for a motion to adjourn every single day because Congress is so out of control. Congress needs to stop and go home.
What? They're doing their job. This is like somebody who gets promoted to assistant manager at a Taco Bell and decides, y'all need to stop working at this drive-thru, put everything down. All these customers need to get out of here because this place is not selling food. How far does it go? You want a recorded vote on a motion to adjourn?
So let's talk about science. Do you guys believe in
Yeah, let's talk about science.
science? Trust the science, right? I'll tell you a quick story
Oops, that started a conversation.
about my neighbor across the street. My neighbor across the hall. Apparently, I have a Democrat across the hall. I didn't know it because, again, they don't really talk to me much. Anyways, I found out because there was a video on Twitter, and it was the week of the Equality Act, and I had been pretty vocal about that, saying that's not a good idea. And there was a video on Twitter that was tagging me with my neighbor across the hall, Democrat Representative Marie Newman. And I'd never met her, and usually I'm from the South. When we meet our neighbors, we do it with like a plate of cookies or some brownies or something.
So when you showed up, you went door to door in the area around your office because you share walls with them and hallways, and you went like, "Hi, I just got here," and you went around with a plate of cookies. Is that how it played out? Or did you lock yourself in your room and go, ew, about everybody there?
Maybe a bottle of wine. That's not how I met my neighbor. She put a video up where she started the video on my nameplate by my door that y'all don't get to see because they don't allow you in the buildings that you pay for in Washington, D.C., by the way. Anyway.
Yeah, they do. Yes, you can. What do you... this part's ridiculous. You talk to your constituent and they will give you a tour. You're allowed in. You just can't walk through there all the goddamn time because there is work going on.
Anyways, the video started...
Look, I know y'all like McDonald's, but you can't walk up to McDonald's headquarters and just walk around in the hallways, and that is wrong.
...on my nameplate, and then it went to her where she planted the trans flag right by her door. And then she did her hands.
Hi. Oh. Here, we need a break from this awfulness. Hold on one second. I need to show you guys something. We have new Fosters. Oh, hi, you. Look at this one. Look at this little guy. Look at you. How are you? What is this craziness? You have been upstairs the entire time. Is there a lot to look at? Yes, there is. Yes, you are lovely. Hi. Are you okay? Were you sleeping? Look at this little cute thing. Look at this guy. Hi. Hi, little one. Yeah. Hello. Do you want to run around down here? You so do, don't you? Oh, you're gonna fall asleep right on me, and then it's gonna be terrible. And then, hello. Huh? Look at this. Look at this little one. Hello. Mm-hmm. Kitten break. Kitten break. What is you? You're just like the green screen's very weird to you? Is that that's what's funny? Look at this. Look at this. Such a sweetheart. Purring like a maniac. See if we move over here. Aw. Hi. Yeah, I know. You can't jump up there. You cannot. You cannot. You cannot. Mm-hmm. Well, they could hear the purrs. That was good. Okay. I cannot. Hello. Here you go. Go back to Mama. Yeah. Yeah. Here you go. Oh. Round one. There's 4 of them. We'll see if the other ones can handle it. Hi. Yeah. Love you. It's like laying in Summer's arm going, what is this place? This crazy, crazy place. When do I get to run all over this place? Uh-huh. Yeah. Yep. Love you. Thanks. Kitten break. That was much needed.
Okay.
And back to awful.
I was like, okay. Well, who's this lady? Oh my goodness, she's across the hall. So I said, okay, well, I'll do my video for her.
Because I'm a good Christian, what I decided to do was I baked some cookies, and then I walked across the hall, and I went, I think you misunderstand me. My concern is not that trans people don't have a right to this or that, but that straight men might take advantage of the law, and that we need, if we're going to have something like this, it can't be broad and overreach, because it will put women in harm's way, including trans women, arguably, who will be in the same bathroom with those women in those circumstances. And as someone who believes in I'm just fucking with you. She didn't say anything like that.
And it's evidently been seen a lot. So we started a video on her nameplate, and then it panned over to me, and I put a sign on the wall. There's only 2 genders, male and female. Trust the science.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with trans people. They're transitioning. If you're going to talk about wolfkin and non-binary people and stuff like that, I don't know what the sports classification circumstance those folks find themselves in. But that's not the conversations being had.
So I lovingly call her now Maria New Person, because she doesn't believe in gender, so why call her Newman? She's like, New Person. And I've left my sign up, so...
Well, she obviously does believe in men and women as an idea, because she put the trans flag up, because that means that some women trans into trans men, some biological men trans into trans women. That's part of the process. There's no... Without the destination, nobody's trans. So if you believe in trans, it's actually a reinforcement of the 2 genders. It just isn't limited to those 2. But it doesn't negate those 2.
When Nancy Pelosi decides that the taxpayers can come to Washington and go in the Capitol again and the office buildings again, I really hope...
So they can normally, and they couldn't because of, oh yeah, friends of yours.
You all come to visit me and take a picture by my sign. I would very much like that.
I'm gonna charge admission.
Let's talk about some other
They're at the Villages?
things. How do you all think that Joe Biden should be?
Some native tribes have more than 2 genders because it's a social construction. They define people's roles differently than we do. It's not the same as having shifting genders.
Impeached?
It's way more complicated.
Yeah, I think so too. As a matter of fact, I introduced articles to impeach Joe Biden. And I really don't care if Republicans are in the minority. I think we still need to work to impeach Joe Biden. And you do too.
Based on what?
You see, Joe Biden has a certain weakness, and his name is Hunter Biden.
So we impeach... so like, let's just say Don Jr. does a shit ton of blow and is knocking boots with Kimberly Guilfoyle while he's still married to his wife, and his wife starts having sex with a Secret Service agent. That would have been reason to impeach Donald Trump then. Just clarifying.
And Hunter Biden has a certain affinity with doing business in Ukraine and China. Yeah, and I think that's a little problem for the President of the United States, and it's a bigger problem for the American people.
So doing business in China is let's see, is bad for the American people if the president's son does. Let me see. Okay, let's see.
Melania Trump
Let's take a look at this, shall we?
looks stunning at a state dinner in China. The First Lady wore a gorgeous Gucci dress embroidered with traditional Chinese floral decorations. Melania's dress was actually worn by actress Margot Robbie at a movie premiere last year. The only difference? The color of the fur trim. And the First Family may have a secret weapon when it comes to improving relations with China. It's Ivanka Trump's daughter, Arabella. President Trump played this video of his 6-year-old granddaughter who is learning Mandarin from her Chinese nanny for the Chinese president. President Trump sure looks like a proud grandpa.
Mm-hmm. It's bad. It's just very bad. Oh, and...
Let's talk first about the new role you have, which is campaign surrogate. What is that like for you? I'd like to ask each of you.
Listen, it's been amazing.
Hold on, wait. The Eric Trump business. Let's see, Chinese business. Trump. This is so bad lip reading. Oh yeah, here's. Yeah.
The Chinese government has given a preliminary green light to Ivanka Trump's company for 5 more trademarks. 4 of them were approved on Sunday. The products include child care centers, sunglasses, and wedding dresses. A 5th.
Okay, but yeah, sorry. Again, business is what?
Because the Democrats impeached President Trump over a perfect phone call, by the way.
What made it perfect? Was it that he didn't fart?
So, I don't think that's the way that it works. And I think accountability is important. After all, the American people, all of you and all of me, all my life, we've had to be accountable, right?
Yeah, all of me have been accountable. I've made sure that all of me was accountable. You could count all of me.
Nobody just lets us off the hook because we're friends with all the right people. Isn't that so?
Isn't that right, Matt Gaetz?
No. And the American people...
Please, and ladies and gentlemen, on that note, Matt Gaetz
deserve to see our leaders who are paid with our tax dollars held accountable for doing wrong to the American people.
And on that note, Matt Gaetz
Well, that was about 2 weeks before I got kicked off my committee, so maybe that had something to do with it. Let's talk about a lovely lady named Maxine Waters.
Oh my God, this is so tiresome.
I can't believe y'all don't like her. She's been serving in Congress, I think, longer than I've been alive. Well, how do you guys feel about a member of Congress traveling to another state that she doesn't live in, where there have been riots night after night, going there?
And like this is about Maxine Waters' more confrontational remarks. Obviously, not a call for violence, a loose-lipped way of speaking. I condemned it at the time because you can't play into these people's hands. But it just goes to show you how she's still hanging on to that as indicative of, you know, the violence of the left.
Late at night, staying out past curfew, demanding a certain verdict for a trial that was still going on. I think that's inappropriate, don't you? And then...
Weren't you guys, demanding a certain verdict on the impeachment trial while it was still going on? What are you talking about?
Telling the rioters, the people that are rioting, breaking the law, by the way, getting arrested at night, saying...
Or the protesters who aren't. I mean...
What was she saying? Be more confrontational.
Yeah, so how can you be more confrontational than rioting, looting? Maybe she was talking to protesters not being afraid to say their piece. Because if people who are protesting feel a little more forward in their protesting and not getting violent, maybe the people who are violent and looting will have less of a stake in the entire thing. Okay.
Stay in the streets. Take to the streets. Break the curfew. Be more confrontational. Well, here's...
Did she say break the curfew? Are we adding shit? She's loud? Did they change the volume?
Question that we need to ask. After a year that the American people had to deal with watching cities burn, cities on fire, businesses looted,
I am.
innocent people attacked, streets
happened to my mic?
blocked,
It got all
people in
turned up.
cars and
Weird.
trucks attacked, police officers,
I think a cat nose touched my microphone.
night after night being attacked, and so much more.
Boo!
Innocent people like retired police officer David Dorn being murdered. Let me ask you all, what is more confrontational than that? What did Maxine Waters mean?
What? That guy was looting a store. He wasn't a protester. He was literally just stealing stuff and encountered a security guard and killed him. That's not who she's talking to, but keep pretending.
Maxine Waters should be expelled from Congress.
Excuse me, miss. Did you not hear someone yell, lock her up? You're supposed to lead a chant now.
So I introduced a resolution to expel Maxine Waters.
Did you give any tours on January 5th? Asking for a cop who had a heart attack after he was tased 5 times and his gun was almost stolen and used to murder him.
I've also introduced a lot of legislation that they keep saying, Marjorie, we can't get that done. I've introduced very strong border legislation. Yeah.
Very strong border legislation. Okay, let me hear this. This will be good. Very strong border legislation. What is it? That alligator moat?
I've introduced very strong Second Amendment legislation to protect your gun rights.
Like what? What is it? We the people say that the Second Amendment is sacrosanct and we need to remove the well-regulated part of the Second Amendment. I would like an amendment to the amendment that's my favorite amendment to remove the well-regulated part. That is a violation. Oh, my voice is lower now?
Many, many bills. I've co-sponsored many bills. And
I
I want
turned
to
it up.
tell you, here's what they don't understand. And here's
What don't they understand? I'm going to go with your bills.
what you understand, and I understand, is
But does he understand? And she understand?
you don't get something done in a day. You lay the groundwork. And we may be in the minority, and that does not matter. But we should be introducing strong legislation. We should be introducing articles of impeachment on Joe Biden, resolutions to expel Maxine Waters. You want to know why?
Why?
Because they need the message that this is what we're going to do when we get in the majority.
Yeah, that's why the Republicans hate your bills, because that's the kind of crazy shit that will keep you from getting in the majority, because it's loony. Yeah. Biden hasn't done anything to warrant impeachment. I know. There you go.
And the Republicans in Congress need a lesson from the American people, the Republican voters.
Yes, and that is, we support, as Republican voters, I'm speaking on their behalf even though I'm not one, Republican voters support 60%. 60% of them. 60% of Republican voters support Biden's plans. A sound majority of Republicans want the infrastructure bill to go through. So what is with 100% of Republicans not voting for it? How is this not an example of the swamp not listening to people?
And the Republican donors. Money talks, everybody. Here, that's right. You are the majority. Here's what.
No, you're not. You're so not.
Here's what Republicans in Congress need reminded of.
Okay. Well, this is what, guys, somebody write this down. I don't know. I'm taking a sip.
The American people, the Republican voters and donors, don't want to be told stuff on Fox News. They don't want to be told things on the campaign trail. They don't want to be told anymore. Republicans.
Yeah. Don't say what you're going to do. Stop running on your policies. On campaign trail, Republicans, don't say anything. If you're called to go on Fox News, sit completely silent for the whole segment and then go past the bills you want.
Voters and donors and people that would
Oh, he was talking about he's white? Oh.
join the Republican Party, but they don't because they see Republicans fail, is they want to see action. You want to see action.
Well, then watch a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, because you're not taking action, you're legislating. We want to see people fight for you. You're not fighting. You're debating at most, acquiescing and agreeing.
And we didn't see that action in the first 2 years in a Republican-controlled Congress under President Trump, did we?
They had like 50 votes to repeal the ACA.
And that's why we ended up with Democrats controlling everything in the next 2 years. See, they don't think that's true, but that is true. Exactly. We know that's true. So we have an opportunity.
I know this much is true.
Going into 2022, and let me tell you what America First rallies.
Action, so much to gear here. All the action with America First. I want to action.
Are all about. We need to send a message.
Yes, we don't. Jesus, that's folks. People don't want talk. Okay, they don't want to hear people talking on the campaign trail. Which, whatever, that's the hand gesture she was using, which is weird. They don't want you talking on Fox News. We need to send a message. What? Did you miss? Yes, you missed Jewish Space Laser earlier. It's how she entered. She's.
Here is the message.
Okay, here it is. Ready? All right. Right. Somebody write this down.
You see, the Democrats, the people in charge right now, that put a great big fence and put a whole bunch of military up there around the Capitol to let.
Yeah, to hold out the right-wing nutcases who believe that they have the right, they lost the election, but they believe they have the right to take the government. Yeah, that fence.
Let you all know that you can't go there. The Democrats that
Is that, well, that is true, by the way. That is absolutely true. She is speaking to people who would storm the Capitol right now if Clarence Thomas's wife would park a bus outside and give him a free ride.
say they won the presidential race.
They did. Yeah. Biden won soundly. Say they won. Listen to this woman. Say they won.
The Democrats that are working very, very hard and very fast and aggressively to pass their socialist agenda for America.
Action, I got so much to give off. Action. Sorry, what's the socialist part of it? I'm just waiting for her to describe socialism to me, as opposed to just normal democratic taxation and emergency funding in a pandemic kind of
Democrats
stuff.
that shame you all the time for supporting Trump. The Democrats that shame you for supporting America First. The Democrats that call you ugly names like deplorable and insurrectionist and all.
Yeah, they're in the same basis. We don't call everyone insurrectionists. I don't call all Trump supporters insurrectionists. Just the ones that stormed the Capitol and tried to kill cops.
All these ugly names that trash you, but guess where you hear that from the most? Where do you hear it from the most?
Where do you hear it from the most? Let me guess. Mitch McConnell's office. Oh, thanks very much, Benny Loco. And reminding you to give a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. I'm sorry, this stream feels like it's off to a slow start because I thought she'd be a lot more entertaining. This is, all like insanity and pathetic attempts to claim the election and all that stuff aside, this is a fucking dull speech. This is awful.
The most. The media. You hear it from the media. That's right.
Yeah, moo, boo. Is that a boo? Thank you, Raphael. Well, Fox News is fake news.
So you get told every single day, oh, if you want election integrity, you're a terrible person. Well, guess what? It's the hashtag resist crowd. It's the same women that went to the Women's March after President Trump was elected and dressed in female genitalia. It's the same people that believe.
They dressed it. Oh, you mean the pink hats? That's dressing in female genitalia? Excuse me. I think they were just asserting the existence of a gender.
The Russian collusion
What have you got against women actually existing? Biological women?
conspiracy lies, and the media that preached it and preached it and preached it till everybody wanted to throw up. Those are the same people telling you you don't have a right to see transparency in your elections. What do y'all have to say about that? That's right.
What transparency are you lacking? Sorry? You have as much or more transparency as you had when Trump got elected. What changed?
Right.
So while Trump was president, election integrity went in the shitter and transparency went out the window. And it's now Joe Biden's responsibility to rehash the election he won clearly because you don't trust it because your dude was running things. Wow.
So here is what's going to happen with America First rallies.
Okay, what's going to happen? This is what we have to look forward to. Are they all going to be this rambling and dry and devoid of interesting content? Or just the start? I mean, you're going to get rolling. She's going to have she'll work up some material by the 12th one out of 13.
This is very important. We are coming out strong.
Yeah, this is gangbusters.
And we are coming out very loud and very proud. And we are coming out like we did for President Trump at all these rallies because we have a message for the Democrats and the fake news media.
All right, let's hear it. Here comes the message.
You are not going to destroy our country.
No, we aren't. No, we're not even in the process of destroying your country or our country. The news media and the Democrats have no interest in doing so.
You are not going to shame us for being proud American patriots.
No, I'm just going to mock you for being fake patriots. Because you're literally Confederate flag huggers. If this was in the 1800s, you'd be fighting on the other side.
You are not going to put us down for loving President Trump and what he did for the past 4 years.
That's not, in all fairness, I don't put you down for loving President Trump. I mock you for it because it's insane. Yeah, all right, come on now. This is the rousing end. Does she have a clock on stage so they know she's getting almost done? Man, her speech was so good. I almost understood almost all of it, and it was so good. Yeah, we're American citizens too. We just voted another way. There are two parties in this country. We're in a democracy. We share power, and we deal with that as a normal part of... This is not a monarchy that's trying to be overthrown by someone. It's just, this is so weird. Thank you, Sarah.
You see, they thought you were going to not come out anymore. They thought they have intimidated you. They thought you were defeated. They thought...
No, we just thought, we know there's a bunch of these lunatics. You're at the Villages in Florida. Come out. Those people live there. You're at the it's a retirement community. You're not at a water park with a bunch of these old people going, you know what, I burn easy and I don't take the water. If it gets in my CPAP, I'm a goner. But I'm going anyways.
Thought that you people were done.
Yeah, Lisa, this is awful.
We're not done.
Yeah, you kind of are. I mean, you got 4 more minutes, 3 more minutes?
No, we're not done. And I'll tell you why. Here, they don't understand.
Why? What have you not said? Jeez.
Understand why? You want to know why?
Why?
Here's why. Because
why?
All of us are people that love this country.
Yeah, I love this country too. What is your point?
We love what it means to be an
Level 2 hype train.
American. We don't care about people's skin color and gender and all of this identity politics garbage. We don't want to be divided. We want to be Americans together.
Great. So why didn't you vote for Joe Biden then? He literally ran on that. Yeah, Elizabeth, she has no point. This is basically like someone, this is like a bad book report on a written version of one of Trump's speeches that she did not prepare for. Yes, so much, yes. Hype train, get those bits of flying. All right. And Ninka Crinkles, thank you so much, and NYC for resubscribing. Thank you, Jester, for resubscribing as well. 8 and 10 months, bless you guys. Hanging in there. Pace, thank you. Professor Funbags, hello. Yeah, United States of America. Oh my God, these are my letters, and USA and MTG, and oh my God.
Thank you. I love you too. You see, here's what I know about you, because it's the same thing about me. We're grateful.
Jesus Christ.
We know
We're grateful. That's the thing about you and me. We're grateful.
that what it means to be an American is something special. We know.
Yeah, like honoring our elections. And if you lose, sucking it up and getting back in the political fight based on the principles of your party or your ideas. Instead of relitigating every election you lose.
Know that it's what people all over the world want. Right? And we know for a fact that people died and bled to give us these freedoms. And we're so grateful
Right. Yeah, we know. And
for it. That's right.
listen to that woman yelling in the back like, go, 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 go! That's the kind of patriotism we're looking for. Somebody go, is Roseanne there?
And God bless you. If you're a veteran in here,
Thanks, Sarah.
stand up. God bless you.
Well, thank you, Amy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. See, the veterans that serve this country, they're the greatest men and women in this nation. They sign up.
You're gonna hide behind veterans now? You lazy asshole?
None of these veterans signed up to go serve and protect our country because they wanted.
So that women could be included in the pronunciation of bills. That they fought so that it would just say man and you just kind of get it.
America to be a socialist
It's Bobcat time.
nation.
Shut up! What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
You signed up for freedom because
We signed up. Is there a sign-up sheet for freedom? Is it like I didn't realize freedom was an open mic.
you love it and you want to preserve it not only for yourself but your family, your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and
Your great-grandchildren's grandchildren, and the freedoms that are important to us, like the ability to sext with a 16-year-old girl. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Gaetz.
people in the future you know you'll never meet. And see, that's something that has been forgotten, and it means something.
Well, then, if you're going to introduce a voter ID bill, then along with it, provide a situation where the federal government provides every citizen with a trackable ID card. You don't have to take it everywhere with you, but you take it to vote, and you take it when you first get a job and those kind of things. So it works as a Social Security thing. And if anybody's caught using yours, they go to jail for a minimum of 2 years or something like that. But everybody gets one. They're all free, but you won't. You know why? Because Republicans think that a national ID card is the mark of the beast. And so assholes like you, every time a bill comes forward to provide a photo ID to every American citizen, free of charge, Republicans vote it down.
You see, there's something else I know about every single one of you.
You're not wearing underwear.
Tired of the lies.
You're tired of the lies. Yeah, well, 4 years it was a lie. Thanks.
You're tired
My hair's
of
a
the
little
moral
floppy today.
degradation of our society.
The moral degradation of our society. Sorry, woman who had sex with sex guru who and let her husband know about it says what? Who is touring the country with a dude who is is close to being indicted on child sex trafficking charges. Moral degradation? You're touring with Matt Gaetz.
We don't want our children taught there's no such thing as gender. That's stupid.
Nobody's teaching them there's no such thing as gender. Just that there are variants in the gender spectrum. But there are obviously sexes, or trans people wouldn't have to trans. See? The very existence of trans people is predicated on the idea that there are men and women. They're not erased. It's an addition, not a subtraction. You're a moron.
We don't want to pray to the climate gods and confess our sins and pass the Green New Deal. No, thank you.
No, thank you. I mean, it's not really a bill. It's like a mission statement, and most of the stuff about it, I didn't even bother to read.
Electric vehicles are cool. I like them, and I think that's awesome technology, and we want to keep our earth clean, and we want the most beautiful earth in the whole world. But do we want to?
Do we, though? Do we? Do we really want the most beautiful earth in the whole world? What? What?
Want to keep our earth clean, and we want the most beautiful earth in the whole world. But do we want to?
What? We want the most. All right. Me too. I want the most beautiful earth in the whole world. I want the most beautiful world in the whole earth. Both, and yet neither.
Destroy the oil and coal industry?
Is that what we're doing? That's the goal, is to destroy the oil and coal industry, or to get those people jobs in industries that don't destroy the planet? I think. I mean, but then we're back to 2016.
No.
Jesus Christ.
We don't want to do anything that destroys our economy. We want to build our jobs.
Yeah, I mean, if child pornographers, I mean, there's some real money to be made there, right? So absolute freedom of speech, and they should be allowed to do that, right, Marge? What?
Our government's
I mean, honestly, if we just folded the meth and crack cocaine economies into ours, I mean, you talk about job growth.
been paying people to stay home.
We don't want to do anything that would limit our economy, like stop fentanyl from entering the country.
Haven't they? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm not supposed to say it, but I really want to.
What? I'm sorry. What part?
Government's been paying people to stay home, haven't they? Yeah.
Yeah, because they can't go out lest they get sick and die or bring a disease home that kills someone else in their household.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm not supposed to say it, but I really want
The government doesn't pay you to stay home. It pays you so you can.
to. Yeah, they've been paying people to stay home for a year, and guess what? What does that do?
What?
Nobody wants to go to work. No one's going to work. It's hurting everything.
It's hurting everything. Okay.
That's right. We also need to end abortion.
Cool. Then work on reversible vasectomies. Work on reversible vasectomies, and then of course make sure that teenage girls can have access to any kind of birth control that they might need. Because that'd do it. But that doesn't entail shooting doctors, so I'm sure you don't have any interest.
That's the biggest thing we need to do. Over 62 million people murdered in the womb, and none of our tax dollars should ever pay for it.
Yeah, they don't. Unless it's a stillborn and it's going to kill the woman. But then, you know, on the biblical take that these folks have, I mean, the woman should go down with the ship.
We have a lot of work to do, America. And so this is why we're here. We're building hope. We're pulling everybody together. Because we're not
Yeah, that's what this feels. This feels very hopeful.
finished. As a matter of fact, we're just getting started, aren't we?
This is really, really good as speeches go.
So you guys plan to stick around. I hope you're not going to leave anytime soon. No, you need to.
Well, especially if you're an underage girl. I mean, you should, if you don't leave until Matt Gaetz gets on stage, unless someone can escort you to your car.
Stay. So, number one.
Number one. First of all, she's saying, here's the deal. Now she's numbering things. Is this, do you want to be Trump or Biden?
Share this with your friends.
If she doesn't close out by eating a fish delight and downing 12 Diet Cokes, do you even MAGA, bro?
Share this with your family. America's the greatest country in the world. Yes.
Well, you shouldn't have to share it if it's self-evident. Oh my God, Amy.
My favorite president, President Trump. Your
Wait, we're going back to the top of this speech? Jesus Christ. Did somebody drop her cue cards?
favorite president, President Trump. He has not quit. He's not given up.
Yeah. He didn't quit. He was fired.
And he loves all of you. He loves you guys. And we love him, don't we?
Yes, we do. He holds us. He cradles us in his hands. And together we just... Jesus
But
Christ,
here's
this
what
is
we need.
Oh my God. Just get over with. Well, right now he is golfing and or shitting. So basically, those are his two major daily activities, or watching Fox News while shitting or golfing.
And he loves you, and I guarantee you he's watching, so he knows you love him.
Nah, he turned off a little bit ago.
All right. So,
There's no way he finished this. I'm shocked I got through.
starting today, America First policies are the way to save this country. Am I right? I need more people in Congress that believe in this, that don't want to be a swamp creature, that don't want to be
A swamp cruncher.
bought off, that actually want to do the job. And it's a hard job. We give up a lot to do this job.
Oh
I don't
my
want to
God.
be there. I have a great
Oh, you victim, you. We give up a lot to do this job.
life. I have a lot more fun at home with my family and my
Then quit.
friends. But I'm
Here's a good idea. Stay home, become a huge business success, and buy all the politicians you want. If you're that good and you're that extraordinary and being in Washington doesn't help and it's just
there because I believe
Quit.
we have to save this country. And I'm really
well, then leave politics and go start your own non-governmental organization that proves you don't need the government.
happy to be here.
Why does she smile like Ed Grimley?
And I'm with you. So I'm going to give up this microphone because there's someone else here that you definitely need to hear from because he's so great and I'm so
Jesus, she opened for this asshole?
happy I serve with him. But most importantly,
Not for long.
remember this, and I want you to rise up. I want you to tell all of your friends and your family.
Yeah, bring it home. Here we go. You have all of 10 seconds left of this nonsense. This is time. Come on. Rally and cry.
That from now on, it's people over politicians. And we're going to save America and stop socialism by putting America first.
Trademark that covers
Christ almighty. You're a politician.